Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Of course, back here with Tim. Had a pretty exciting, week of news. Kicking it off really about a week ago. You guys are acquiring a manufacturing and packaging facility, so we'll kick it off there, and we'll go into. You guys had a great announcement today as well. But first things first, Tim, how are you?
Great, Jason. How you doing?
Good, good. Yeah, it's been a exciting week. I mean, we lived through the GameStop craziness. I know we hadn't spoken since then, so it's been good. Everyone's still alive. And hey, a crazy time in the markets.
It is a crazy time. Bad time to be a short seller, I think. I mean, if you feels like you got a bit of a target on your back right now. So
Yeah. Hey, a lot of people say evening the playing field, and we'll leave it there. We don't need to get into short selling and GameStop too much. Here, and I want to kick it off. And we obviously did an intro video about you, Tim, and you talked about your background at Clorox and some of the things that went into that and your background. I want to talk first before we hop into the facility you guys got. What goes into acquiring a facility, and what do you look for? And then we'll go into, of course, talking about the one you guys picked up.
sure. Well, it's not the first time that I've been involved in an acquisition. I was involved in several of them at Clorox, and subsequent to that, I was involved in several other acquisitions with other companies, some in consumer electronics, some in food. But when you look to make an acquisition, it's how does it add value? It's easy to buy a business. You just offer somebody enough money and you buy it. But how do you make sure that you're adding value for your shareholders? And what that comes down to is how does it complement your strategy so that you can build it either bigger or faster? It's all about how do we accelerate or amplify our business strategy. And this facility does exactly that. It gets us into some additional categories. It gets us into some additional customers, and it also will improve our margins. So it's around capabilities and reach. So that's why we thought it made sense. It was good value. We were able to negotiate a price with the sellers. The deal hasn't closed yet. Just to be clear, we're still in that period of time where we're finalizing, but we expect it to close in the coming days.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, look, congratulations, obviously on what you guys are able to do. And, I'm curious, and I saw a lot of questions. I'd love to ask them. We can get your exciting insight here. People are saying, how much different is you guys are looking for a facility to, package, relatively speaking, some unique goods. So do you want to speak maybe a little bit about what went into it? Was there a big list of places you were looking, or how did it come up? Maybe give some details too on what goes into, making sure that a facility can handle what you guys want them to do.
Sure. Well, Jason, we looked at several facilities before we agreed to move forward with this one. Some of them where we weren't able to reach a deal, some of them where we didn't see value. But this one, because they make high quality food and functional food products, and they have an existing customer base, and they have decent gross margins, and they have equipment that is very complementary to what we want to do, that made sense. The facility is big enough that we can introduce some of our products into it and use it as a primary warehouse until eventually we'll probably grow that facility too. It made sense to come up with a place that had food quality manufacturing, because with natural health products, that's basically what you're looking at, is a food manufacturing facility, and some foundation equipment that can produce and package products not only in capsules and pills, but other functional foods.
Appreciate the answer. That was a fantastic little teaser there too for people with some upcoming products. No, awesome. How much more can we talk about a facility? But you killed it. This is great. I think it's fantastic. We saw people commenting, lets you guys control the supply chain, which was fantastic. And anything else you wanted to say before we move on to, some other exciting news?
Well, I think the other thing that the facility does is it gives us an opportunity to improve our margin, because what we can do is take the elements of the manufacturing, the supply chain, where we can do it more efficiently than through a contract packer, bring that in-house, improve our margin, and ultimately it gives us the opportunity to make additional products so that we can be a contract manufacturer for other people using some of our formulas to sell to other companies. So we see a lot of upside and built that into our valuation model.
Yeah, no, perfect. And again, giving people, with your background, have to feel confident that you've gone through a few of these. I think that's on the low end. You've gone through multiple, and of course, you look at this as definitely you're an expert, and this made sense, which is fantastic. So, some good confidence knowing your background and the fact that you guys acquired something like that. But here, moving into look, I'm just going to read the press release and you can take the thunder. So Haven Life announces strategic clinical trial partnership with HealthTech Connex Inc. Do you want to kind of go through it a little bit? Of course, give the little bit of the overview and we'll hop in. I've got some questions.
HealthTech Connex conducts clinical trials for third parties, and they also have some technology brain activity during clinical trials. So we've talked before how mental health treatment is very difficult to measure. How anxious are you on a scale of 1 to 10? How anxious are you now? How anxious are you now? When you're doing things like how do I do dosing, when do I know when that dose is actually having an effect on the brain? And HealthTech Connex has technology around that. Their neuro device that can actually measure that activity to confirm when you're seeing a therapeutic dose on the brain. So that's exciting. So what's happened is we're now a strategic supplier to them for clinical trials that they're conducting for other companies. We will be promoting their technology and their capabilities to our customers as well. So both parties win, complement each other. We're not competitors. We're highly complementary. They've got some great people, great scientists and medical people on staff to complement our organization. They're local. They're in the southern mainland in British Columbia. So we feel we're supporting a local company, and we're excited to partner with them.
Awesome. Look, hey, great overview. Here to hop into some questions. I saw some people saying, it looks like Haven's now starting to branch into the clinical side. I know we've talked about this on previous videos, especially, we talked about it a bunch when, you guys just raised that amount of money through the bot deal. Is this something you're seeing grow, at Haven? Give people maybe a little insights. Is this something you guys are definitely looking at and exploring?
We talked before about how we're a supply chain to the research industry by providing our naturally derived compounds. And HealthTech Connex is a perfect partner for that because they supply services to a number of researchers, and they're able to provide additional accuracy with their NeuroCatch technology in order to help to determine when is a therapeutic dose achieved, with what dosage, what response do you get with full spectrum versus isolate, what's the different responses with different genetics. So we have 24 different genetics in our current library. We're going to have full spectrum, we're going to have isolate. And so we see this technology in the partnership with HealthNet Connex really complementing that for researchers that want to go with naturally derived compounds.
Yeah. No, fantastic. You talk, they increase, in the customer base, and that was something that actually no one even mentioned when, at least we were looking at initial feedback. So extremely exciting. You give them a lot of compliments in the press release about, their team, their science. Is there something you want to mention again on this video about that? Maybe obviously how it complements what you guys are doing a little bit.
They're very much like us. They're an evidence-based, science-based company. Their CEO, Kirk Fisher, has built a terrific team of scientists and business operators. He's got a great reputation. They're a private company, so people know less about them than they do some other companies. But they've certainly built a world-class organization with capabilities in this space. And they have the licenses that are necessary to conduct the various researches that we want to participate in. And their client base is a perfect addition to our client base. So it is very much a symbiotic relationship where we complement each other.
No, awesome. Well, hey, you touched on all the points I had here. Talk. Are they a competitor? You said nope. They're definitely very complementary to what you guys are doing. I think it was a fantastic. You mentioned it as a great step for Haven in the press release. So congratulations. Some good pieces of news going forward, and Haven looks like they're hitting their stride. We're still getting questions about when can we expect some products. I know we've been talking about this kind of every other week now. Anything you can say about the products?
Yeah, so we're still on track for our manufacturing to be done by the end of March, and to be shipping into stores shortly after that. We have announced Nesters as the first retailer to take our product. We are in discussions with others, but no announcements yet. We will be building our e-commerce site so people will be able to find us online. We have a sample run that's being conducted this week and next week so that we can be distributing samples to our customers and potential customers. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in the quantities to distribute to your listeners, but hopefully it wets
Maybe we
people's
can show some
appetite.
cool photos and some other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we can show some cool photos. It's always neat to see piles and piles of product coming off the line, and these things. I mean, it's exciting because we're breathing life into this. We've been talking about having product, and we're going to have it in our hands in the coming days. So the entire team is pretty excited.
Hey, a psychedelic company about to become revenue generating, extremely exciting. A lot of people obviously put Haven on their watch list and are excited to see what some products are going to look like and feel. And I would love to show them some videos, and maybe we can tease some videos and some pictures on the next call, on our next video. But hey, Tim, this was awesome. Thanks for the insight. A bunch of teasers there for some people, which is cool. Anything else you wanted to say before we close things off?
Yeah, the other thing that's happened to us in the last 2 weeks is we got announced as part of the Horizon ETF, a psychedelic ETF, which is great, very complimentary to us, and boosts our confidence that people are understanding our business model and the value of what we're bringing to the market. So we're looking for that to increase our investor base as we get more exposure. So that's great news as well, and we've got our heads down. We're very focused on execution. The bot deal that we completed earlier this year gives us the confidence to move forward on that because we've got our monthly burn rate covered, hire the people we need, hire the services we need, and execute our plan. And so that's where our focus is for the coming months, and do them as well as possible.
Perfect. Oh, there you go. And again, there are lots of new eyes, lots of new people out there. Hey, I always welcome questions. We'd love to mix them in with a bunch of things. Of course, myself and Tim talk about. We expect a Q&A video coming up, but it definitely going to throw in some questions as we see them. Tim, thanks so much for joining. This was awesome.
Thanks, Jason. Have a great afternoon.